There is a real threat of losing this channel, so I ask you to subscribe to Twitter so that we don't lose touch, because lately the situation around Skibidi has been getting worse and worse. Also, let's get 7,000 likes. It helps promote the video. Look at this message. Have they heard us? Is this a victory? One of the company's employees stated that the employees are aware of the problems with their content, that this is a necessary measure until Dafuk Boom returns from vacation. The company is trying to correct itself. And what is your goal? I wanted to believe these words, but their actions suggest otherwise. I was recently removed from Dafuk Boom's friends list. But of course, this was not Dafuk's doing, but those who took over his social media accounts. For example, look at the status of the chief executive's Discord account for Emergence. He is clearly mocking us or trying to anger the fandom even more, not realizing that the success of their project depends on the viewers. This guy is deliberately provoking with such statements. Just look at the tone of Jukul's post, supposedly saying, "We know how bad we are. Let us work. Leave us alone." A company employee should not communicate with their audience like this. I understand if it were some YouTuber or just a famous person, but this is a representative of a company, a franchise, those who have dealt with Transformers and so on, as they like to brag about it. That's exactly how they gave hope to the Dafuk Boom. There have been a lot of leaks this week. As it turns out, it all started not with Part 3 of Episode 79, but much earlier in 2024. Dafuk wrote that in 24 years he had received virtually no monetization. Most likely, all the finances were invested in the budget for the movie about Skibidi Toilet. But as we can see, Dafuk Boom now has no money, no right to speak, and no copyright to his own series. All he has left are his loyal viewers, who are not indifferent to the fate of Skibidi Toilet. By the way, I want to say that not only me, but 90% of all popular YouTubers were removed from Dafuk Boom's friends. In general, I realized long ago that Discord is already under the complete influence of the company, which could be understood from the global changes to the main page, as well as the advertising of their magnificent toy. Now the company is trying to do everything it can to prevent viewers from noticing the change. They recently changed the name of their video with a collection of episodes. They wrote the name in the style of Dafuk Boom, that is, without capital letters, as if that would change anything. The series first encountered real problems in 2024. Before that, there were minor issues in the form of telegrams from the mafia, led by a swindler named Nikita. While everything was resolved quickly in 2023, in 2024, a fraudster named Sergey, at least that's how this guy introduced himself, wanted to obtain the rights to Skibidi and even sued Dafuk Boom. Don't you find it strange that we have no idea who this Sergey is? We have never seen his face or heard his real voice. As we know, his goal was to create a mobile game with Skibidi characters, and the most important question is that he was well prepared and had a large budget for the Dafuk scam, because he purchased the SkibidiToilet.com hosting for tens of thousands of dollars. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that the person who was supposed to protect Skibidi Toilet was all along setting things up to get more favorable terms for himself in the future. I'm not hinting at anyone. I have no evidence. These are just thoughts out loud. I thought about this back in 2024 when I first learned about Sergey. Let's not talk and make up stories, but let's look at and discuss the facts and evidence we have at the moment. Now I will show you all the leaks related to Dafuk Boom, as well as everything that has remained behind the scenes until now. The first leak came from Ebio, where he showed Dafuk Boom's experiences over the past few months. The YouTuber suggested that Dafuk Boom take a well-deserved vacation, since he essentially had the opportunity to do so, to which Dafuk Boom replied that he could no longer do so because he was almost broke. Dafuk also said that the company did not pay him at all, since the company receives monetization under contract, and the company also distributes the money. There is another piece of evidence from OMA that in 2024 he gave the company full monetization, and I think that most likely it was done for the film. If you remember, in the same year he wrote that he felt cheated because he was not receiving any news or anything at all. And after that, Michael publishes a teaser that was created entirely by artificial intelligence. For some reason, this video appeared immediately after Dafuk BM's outrage. Let me remind you that Michael is a friend of Adam, who owns that very company. Okay, let's continue analyzing the leaks. At the end of 2024, specifically on December 19th, Dafuk wrote that
some very disgusting and horrible people have entered my life, and there's nothing I can do about it.
It's clear what this is about, and there's no need to dwell on it or analyze it in detail. In early 2025, 2 months after this statement, Boom almost lost his mind. When asked in private messages if everything was okay with him, he said no, it wasn't okay. He goes on to write,
The problem isn't that people want episodes. It's not just something that drags things down. The problem is the people I work with and who they are. I constantly feel like I'm being cheated, lied to, like I'm paranoid all the time. It's the way they talk, the way they treat things, their prices, their actual means and capabilities. I feel trapped and I hate that feeling. And the people I used to look up to don't really want to work. The people who suffer the most are those closest to me in business and around me, not my enemies or fans, whose patience is incredible. It's not that I never talk to them. It's like talking to a wall, completely useless. There's just no hope with them.
Oh yes, how right Dafouk is here. I also noticed that it's like you're dealing with a brick wall, not literate people from Hollywood. This correspondence is about the company Dafouk works for, because in reality, they can't prove or explain anything. The CEO, David, thinks that everyone else is wrong and that only he knows how everything should be done. He is so proud that he is ready to destroy everything to hide his failures. His pride leads to terrible consequences, not only for Skibidi Toilet, but also for their company. I will repeat myself once again, their success depends only on whether people will watch them or not, and the latest news suggests the opposite. In the summer of 2025, specifically on June 6th, which is very important, Boom writes,
I've been very disappointed and upset lately, brothers. I have a feeling that the film is not being made. At least I haven't received any news, seen any forecasts, or participated in any discussions about details. Just nothing. Recently, there was an idea to do something like a short project on their part, a kind of collaboration. And this idea has been in some stage of development for at least 6 months. It's as if no one is working on it, or at least no one is talking about it openly. I am completely disconnected from the process. No concepts, no updates. They described something vague and unclear to me over the phone. I saw fragments of the script, and that's it. I feel like a fool. My hope is dying at an incredible speed.
On the same day, Boom asks to delete his previous statement. After that, on June 7th, Michael actually publishes a video showing his workplace and, by the way, mentions the loyalty of Skibidi Toilet viewers.
Skibidi fans, because you deserve to know. This is where I work.
Most likely, he was referring to this situation with Dafouk's disappointment and the viewers' reaction to it. The scariest thing about this story is that Boom asks to delete that post with his disappointment because he deleted the post from his Discord, but EBO reposted it at that time. I delete the post, and a little more time passes, and on July 10th, Boom writes,
I've been through a lot that I can't share, unfortunately, but I promise I won't take your friendship for granted. I may not always respond, but I'm not ignoring you. Don't ever get upset about it, man.
This message was addressed to EBO. He goes on to write,
Hi. Invis said that there was a slight misunderstanding on my part, and it seems that they actually wanted to surprise me, but Michael is a perfectionist and doesn't like to share details about pre-production. Don't write this, I'm just passing on what they told me. I think Michael will post something today, and I think we'll find common ground. I'll wait, and could you delete the previous message you posted this morning? It's not related to moving to another country. It's not confidential information. Honestly, I have no idea when the series will be released. It's very confidential, but things are moving forward. I can't work on it the way I want it to. My mood isn't great, especially with the Skibidi Toilet project. All of this came to me, even though I couldn't have predicted it when I made my promises. Some things are happening right now, and I can't even understand what's going on in real life. When the entire future of ST, my future, all of it is at stake. It's more serious than ever. It's awful to see that I can't explain the reasons. and that people are going crazy and getting disappointed. I really want to tell you everything, but I stop myself every time. I advise you to entertain your audience, start analyzing and watching fan videos. I really want only good things for you and your channel, and I'm sorry that I can't help in any way right now. You could let people know that I'm moving and not spending any time on the computer at all.
As you remember, Ibio didn't tell us everything that Dafuk said, but only what Dafuk asked him to say, that he was on vacation in South Korea and planned to be in Japan. After that, Dafuk stopped communicating as he had before. You could say we've already won. The whole internet is talking about Dafuk Boom's removal. This tweet alone has garnered over 5 million views, and news channels have started telling everyone about this situation. So more and more people are finding out about it. And while the company is mocking its own audience, the matter is slowly reaching influential people. One way to influence Adam, the head of the company, is through Michael, because he is his friend, and as a director, he should understand us, since he himself has dealt with studio bosses who don't understand anything about movies. Therefore, I suggest asking Michael for help and writing him a message to bring this to his attention. And finally, I want to show you a message from animator Dafuk Boom.
Invisible Narratives removed me, NoCap, Iron Cameraman, and Zach Dorr from their Discord server. They will likely start using contractual pressure against me and the others soon. They also removed me, Zach Dorr, Iron, EBO, and NoCap from Dafuk Boom's friend list since they have access to his account. They did this because they claim we were leaking private information. But in reality, NoCap and I were only sharing our opinions and did not reveal any insider details. This shows that the truth is what really bothers them. I will probably start receiving strikes from them soon. Over time, I learned more and more about their miserable actions. I believe everything will eventually come to light. They are suppressing the fandom protest and are already using pressure tactics while openly lying. Keep protesting actively, keep exposing their actions, and continue making posts on Twitter. The impact needs to be stronger, and I will probably lose my YouTube channel along with my friends soon. Well, if that is how it goes, then that is how it goes. If all YouTubers spoke out together, they wouldn't dare touch anyone. Strength comes from unity, and they know it. Right now, only a few of us are standing up. And that's exactly why Invisible Narratives feels bold enough to pressure people, silence them, or quietly remove them from the Skibidi Toilet community. But if the whole creator community steps forward, openly, loudly, and together, they lose that leverage. They can't strike everyone. They can't mute everyone. They can't pretend nothing is happening when dozens of voices are speaking at once. That's why it's important to stay active, keep making posts, keep exposing the truth, and keep pushing back. Collective action is the only thing that stops them from isolating and shutting down individuals one by one.
In the end, I need to say one thing, that the company has not thought something through, and we will take advantage of this very soon and defeat them. This is not a fantasy, but something that is in the works. The company needs to understand that without viewers, they are nothing. Subscribe so you don't lose touch. I'm a super cameraman. See you very soon. Bye, everyone.